Okay, welcome to this session where we're going to learn how to use a dictionary correctly in French. Now, you're never going to be able to write immediately some very complex sentences, but certainly when you're trying to do some simple sentences in French, it's nice to learn the basics of how to get around a dictionary, how to find the words you're looking for, and some little things you need to know to do to change them. So, we're going to use a fairly simple standard-sized dictionary. This is the Oxford Learners French. There are plenty more dictionary brands available, but most modern dictionaries do look like this inside. And just to know our way around the dictionary before we make any, or have any problems with this, we need to know that if you look at the middle, there are two sections. In the first half of the dictionary, these are French words to English words. We'll just pick some random pages. You'll see that these words are all French words with English translations. So if we're trying to write sentences in French, what we really need to do is have a look at the right-hand side of the dictionary. And here, it says down the side, English, French, and as you can see, words like Great Britain, words like groceries, we know we're in the right side of the dictionary to write a sentence in French. So, once we've understood our way around the dictionary, we need to start thinking about some sentences. So first of all, let's pick a sentence that we could translate from English into French. Let's choose a nice simple thing. The cat eats a mouse. Now, there's different parts to this sentence that we need to be aware of. We've got the cat, which is an example of a noun. It's a thing or an object. We have a mouse, which is also a noun. It's a thing or an object. And we also have in the middle the word eat, which is a verb, a doing word. So, how do we start? Now we've broken our sentence up, we know the three things we need to look up in a dictionary. So firstly, let's look up the word the cat. So the first thing we do is look up cat in our dictionary. Now I have gone and prepared this ever so slightly in advance, so that hopefully we can find the words we're looking for. So, if we look down here on the right-hand side, we can see the word cat. Right next to it, it says noun. Now that is a really useful thing for us because it tells us straight away we're looking in the right place. Then we've got some options. Option 1, it says le chat, meaning the cat, and it says masque next to it. I'm going to zoom in to make this a little bit more straightforward for us, so hopefully you can see it there. Le chat, masque. That means it's masculine. I'm sure in your French lessons you've understood that there are two things called gender in French. There is masculine and feminine. We're going to come to this later. It then gives me an example. A big black cat. Un gros chat noir. So I can see the cat, the sentence, or the word being used in the sentence, and that helps me to understand if I'm using it in the right place. We also have a word for a female cat. La chatte. And there, next to that word, it says femme, which tells me it's a feminine word. For the moment, I'm not too worried about which choice I use, so let's pick the masculine word, le chat. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look at the word for a mouse. Again, let's go back to our dictionary. Let's look in the M's this time. And here, hopefully, we'll be able to go and find the word that we're looking for. And if we look here, we have the word mouse. Again, we know it's the right thing because it says noun next to it. And then it offers us in brackets an explanation of what it means by mouse. It says the animal, or for computers, as in a mouse that you use to go and operate a computer. And the word this time says la souris femme. So we know this time we've got a feminine noun, and it's la souris. Now, this can pose a problem for language learners. La is the French word for the. But as you can see in our word that we're trying to translate, it says a mouse, not the mouse. So this is just a little language trick that learners of languages need to know. If you have in the language a le, which means the, it changes to un when we want to say a. If we have a la word, the feminine words, this is masculine and feminine. La is the word for the. When it comes to a, the word we choose to use is une. Now we know that, let's go and have a look back at our word for mouse. It says, la souris femme. So because we know it's a feminine word, la souris, when we want to change the mouse into a mouse, la becomes une. So the word we want is une souris. Now, the final part is this verb. A verb is a doing word. Again, let's try and find it in the dictionary, see if we can find what we're actually looking for. So let's go back to our dictionary, and this time we're going to find the verb eat. Now, verbs are never found exactly as you see them in a sentence. They're always found in the form to something, as in to eat, to do, to go. And in this case, let's look up eat. And here, you can see in the dictionary we've got to eat, verb. And because it says verb, we know we've got the word that we're looking for. And the first word we come to is manger. Here's an example sentence. He was eating a croissant. We're going to have something to eat. This to me tells me I've probably got the right word to go and help me this time. So the word I want is manger. Now, something you will learn in a later session is what we have to do to change the verb, to turn it from to eat into eat. But for the purposes of what we're doing now, let's just accept that the word is manger, and in actual fact when we change it to eat, it becomes the word mange. Le chat mange une souris. The cat eats a mouse. Now that's pretty straightforward, so let's have a look at an example to try and make this a little bit more straightforward for ourselves. Let's pick the sentence this time. I play the game. So, let's see how this works. Firstly, we look for our nouns. Well, I exist as an object, so I must be a noun. The game, the big word the is a big clue. So let's go for that this time. Let's go for a noun there. I play the game. And this time we've got play. This is my action here. So that becomes our verb. I play the game. So, let's look at our dictionary one more time. Let's see what we're looking for. Firstly, let's find the word I. And here we go, straight away. It says pronoun. Let's zoom in to make it a little more straightforward for you. But when I comes before the verb, we use the word je. Which is pretty straightforward to me, so let's take that as a word. I play the game. The next thing we're looking for is game. Let's go in our dictionary one more time. If we look on here, we've got the word game. Let's zoom in to make it more straightforward for ourselves. Now this time it says, in general, le jeu masque. Children's games, les jeux d'enfants, a game of chance, un jeu de hasard, a board game, un jeu de société. I think we've got the right idea here. We said the game this time, so here it is, le jeu masque, which means le jeu. Now, let's go back to our final part here, and this is I play the game. So again, we're looking for a verb, a doing word this time. So in our dictionary, we'll look at one more time and see what we can find. Now, this time I have a little bit of a problem. I'm going to zoom in to show you what I mean by this. If you can see here, we've got to play verb, and we have play noun. This is where we need to decide which of these is the one I'm looking for. Am I looking for an object, a thing, or am I looking for an action, a doing word? I play the game. It's quite clearly an action. So this time, I've made the decision to choose to play verb. Jouer. I play with my little sister. Je joue avec ma petite sœur. That seems to make sense to me, and it's even done it for me already. Je joue. I play. So I'm trying to go and make my sentence here. We're just going to write it in exactly as we found in the dictionary. Je joue le jeu. And that is how to start writing some simple sentences in